week, what I've been doing, playing around with the Stadium this time, is trying to create a Boss OC pedal, the one that kind of, I think you can plug a bass and a guitar into them, but essentially making a bass sound out of your guitar. So rather than it just being an octave pedal, sending us down with this Poly Capo, what we're attempting to do is to split the guitar signal after this compressor, which is just doing a bit of parallel compression, smoothing out the signal, into this split crossover. So anything below 140 Hertz is going to be onto our bass chain, and anything above is going to be on our guitar chain. I've got these two gain blocks which are being controlled on the output, which is allowing me to listen to them individually or turn them both off at the same time, which they are at the minute. I'm also, while I'm mentioning this, my mic is coming into the return, so I can record straight to USB-C. That's what that's about. So if we, after the split, look at this guitar chain, after the mute, we've got a little EQ here which comes on when I turn the bass, just to cut a little bit more of the low end away, so it separates the bass and guitar sound. A Fender Deluxe amp with some pretty standard high-low cuts. I've not really done anything to that. Into a spring reverb, so just giving us a kind of a mono guitar amp in the room is what I was kind of going for with this. Into our second row, and then into a room dynamic reverb, which I'm thinking is kind of listening in the room, and then a bit of studio compression, which is just lightly, not doing a huge amount there. Okay, then back to the split. So anything below 140 goes into our Poly Capo, sending us down an octave, making it sound more like a guitar. Into our gain block, which is muting us, a DI, into a parametric EQ, which is just raising some lows, taking out some mids and highs, and then going straight through down here into the double take pedal, which is like a TC Electronic mimic. So we're only doubling the signal once, and these are the standard settings. I've turned the dry all the way off, so I'm not hearing two sounds. I'm just hearing the mimicked sound, which is going to have a little bit of slop, so it's going to feel like, hopefully, I feel it feels like it's not a completely accurate pitch shift of my guitar tone. I want it to feel more like there's another instrument playing these parts. So if I turn my mic off a second, I'll play you these two. So this is the guitar. So it won't allow us to play a chord and it sound like two instruments. If that's an E chord, for example, you're gonna hear the E string, the A string, and a bit of the D string through this double bass sound. I'm calling it a double bass just because I'm having to cut so much top end. It doesn't really sound like a pop bass sound. More. More sub frequencies, I guess. So yeah, because we can't just play normal chords, what I'm thinking this will be useful for is playing a bass note in a chord. For example, I'm playing an E minor chord up at fret 7, 8, 9, but basically playing the root note, which you can hear the guitar there, and playing the my other three fingers for doing a bit of a chord, which, because of that split crossover, you can't hear as, you can hear it a little bit, but if I play you something, we can hear that it's kind of lost in the mix is what I'm hoping it comes across. So I've got a looper at the end here just to kind of play around some bits. If you wanted, you could mute that, record a loop with the bass, add a guitar, overdub, and then, you know, do a bit of soloing over the top. But what I think this is going to be useful for is that we can play a bass and harmony part, so chords and bass together, and then you're straight into doing a solo loop, rather than you having to record a loop of a bass, record a loop of a rhythm guitar part and then put the bass to it. It's going to allow us to, if we were performing on our own, to do something, put something together without it being a slow start, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if I do a little loop then. I think I've messed that up a little bit, but yeah, so now we can turn the bass off. And straight away we've got a little loop we can do a little solo with. Anyway, I hope that was interesting and useful to somebody. I don't know if many people have done videos on this split crossover, but I find it it's working quite well for this. Anyway, I'll make this available on my Buy Me a Coffee page. It'll be free. And if you're liking these videos, if you could give me a like and subscribe, that would be really helpful. Yeah, so until next time, thank you and goodbye.